You've been networking wrong your entire life. Not because you're bad at it, because the advice you've been following was designed to keep you exactly where you are. Cold emails, LinkedIn messages, coffee to pick your brain. All of it is theater, performance. A game you're playing while the real game happens in rooms you don't even know exist. I know because I spent a decade playing it. Following every rule, reading every book, doing everything they told me to do. And then one day, I stopped. Started watching how power actually moves instead of how we're told it moves. Turns out, a Florentine diplomat figured this out 5 centuries ago. He documented every pattern, every unspoken rule, every invisible mechanism that decides who gets access and who stays outside. What follows are 9 laws, the ones that still work, the ones nobody wants you to know. Some will make you uncomfortable. That's the tax for seeing clearly. Let's begin. Law 1. They don't need you, and pretending otherwise kills your chances. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The person you're trying to reach doesn't need you. Their inbox has 847 unread messages. Their calendar is full for the next 6 weeks. They get 10 coffee requests every single day from people more accomplished than you currently are. Your perfectly crafted cold email? It's competing with investment offers, speaking invitations, and introductions to people they actually want to meet. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, chapter 23, "A prince ought to take counsel always, but only when he wishes and not when others wish." Which means they decide when to give attention, not you. And certainly not because you need it. I learned this the expensive way. Spent 6 months chasing a VC who could have changed everything. Finally got 20 minutes with him. And I watched myself ruin it in real time. Talking too fast, overselling, trying too hard. He was polite, professional, never replied to a single follow-up. 2 years later, I understood what happened. He didn't see my value. He saw my need. And in his world, need is a red flag. The inversion is this: the meeting becomes possible when you genuinely don't need it anymore. When your work is deep enough, your circle is rich enough, your days are full enough that the VC becomes interesting, but not necessary. That shift in energy changes everything. Law 2. Your body tells the truth your mouth won't. 4 seconds. That's how long it takes someone to categorize you. Before you speak, before you pitch, before you even finish the handshake. They're reading your posture, your breathing, whether you take up space or apologize for existing in it. Whether your confidence is real or rehearsed. And here's the problem, you can't fake this. I know. I tried. Bought expensive clothes. Practiced the body language. Watched the YouTube videos about power poses and strong handshakes. And every single person I was trying to impress smiled politely, then looked away, like they were uncomfortable watching me perform. Machiavelli understood this 500 years ago. Your body speaks the truth your words try to hide. A man who spent 20 years being overlooked, that lives in his shoulders, in his eye contact, in the way he apologizes before asking questions. You can buy a new suit. You can't buy the energy of someone who's built something real. The only fix is fixing your actual life, not your pitch, not your personal brand, your life. Sleep 8 hours. Build something you're proud of. Spend time alone until you're comfortable with silence. Do work that matters to you, whether anyone's watching or not. The energy that comes from that is unmistakable. Because it's not performed, it's earned. I didn't start getting real traction until I stopped trying to impress anyone and started living in a way that made impressing people irrelevant. Law 3. Get recommended or stay outside. 2 paths to the same person. Path 1. You introduce yourself. Send the cold email. DM on LinkedIn. Doesn't matter how polished your message is, you're immediately categorized as someone who needs something. Path 2. Someone they trust mentions your name. Same you. Same skills. Completely different result. A friend of mine spent 3 years trying to reach a particular founder. Hundreds of emails. Mutual connections that led nowhere. Total silence. Then someone he knew, not even a close friend, sent one sentence to the founder about him. They had coffee that week. Today they're investors in each other's companies. 3 years of cold outreach. Nothing. One warm sentence. Everything. Machiavelli saw this pattern everywhere in Renaissance courts. Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, but few can feel. The Prince, Chapter 18. Translation: context matters more than content. The frame around you determines how your actual value gets read. So here's the move most people miss. Stop trying to reach the person at the top. Find the person one level below them. The lieutenant. The trusted operator. The person who has access but isn't yet unreachable. Make yourself genuinely useful to them. Not as a strategy to get higher, just because they actually need what you do. And one day, when the moment's right, they'll say your name in a room you've never entered. That sentence will change your life more than 1,000 perfect cold emails ever could. Law 4. Bring something specific or don't show up. I'd love to pick your brain. Always looking to learn from you. Grateful for any advice you can share. Every one of those sentences says the same thing: I have nothing to offer. Vagueness is the language of need. Specificity is the language of value. The move is showing up with something concrete they didn't ask for but actually need. A referral to someone they've been trying to meet. Research on a problem they mentioned weeks ago that you remembered and quietly solved. A pattern you noticed in their space that's not obvious yet, but will be in 6 months. I tried for months to meet a particular investor. Radio silence. Then I found a 3-sentence comment he made in an interview about looking for founders in a specific geography. Spent 2 days mapping the 20 most promising people in that city. Included 3 I knew personally. Sent it over with no ask, no pitch, just, you mentioned this. Thought this might help. He replied in 40 minutes. We met that week. That research became the foundation of a relationship that's still paying off 3 years later. Machiavelli wrote, benefits should be given little by little, so that they may be better enjoyed. The Prince, Chapter 8. Modern translation: don't show up with a resume. Show up with something specific they didn't know they needed until you gave it to them. Law 5. Disappear after you deliver. Most people ruin favors by lingering. They help someone, then hover. Waiting. Following up too quickly. Checking in when there's nothing to check. Every action broadcasting. I did this for you. Now you owe me. The person receiving the favor feels it instantly. And what could have built trust instead builds resentment. The correct move: deliver value, then disappear. Not as manipulation. As respect for their timeline instead of yours. I had a mentor who taught me this by example. I'd send him research. He'd thank me briefly. Then nothing for months. And then, completely out of nowhere, he'd make an introduction that changed my entire trajectory. No mention of the research. No transaction. Just value returned freely when he saw the opening. That's how people with options operate. They remember, they appreciate, but they return the favor when they're ready, not when you demand it. Machiavelli knew this. Men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony. The Prince, Chapter 17. People remember what you gave them. but they resent being made to feel obligated. Give, then get out of the way. Trust it'll come back. And when it does, it'll be 10 times bigger than anything you could have asked for directly. Law 6. Learn their language before you speak. Most people approach someone important and immediately start speaking their own language, their problems, their frameworks, their way of seeing the world. And the important person, who hears this from 300 people a month, disconnects in 30 seconds. I once spent 3 weeks studying a particular CEO. Every interview, every essay, every public talk started noticing a pattern. He used the phrase first principles in almost every conversation. Not as a buzzword, as the actual architecture of how he thought. When I finally emailed him, I didn't pitch anything. Asked one question about first principles in the context of his business. He replied in 4 minutes. We've been working together for 2 years. Machiavelli spent years studying the language of princes before he ever advised one, not to manipulate them. Because that's what actual respect looks like. If you want someone's attention, meet them in their world, not yours. Law 7. Never ask for what you actually want. When you ask someone powerful for an outcome directly, their walls go up instantly. Can you introduce me to X? Would you invest in Y? Are you hiring? Every version creates the same reaction. Trapped. Like they're being positioned as the solution to your problem. The inversion is asking questions that create intellectual space instead of obligation. How do you think about hiring for roles like this? What would you do if you were in my position? What's changing in this space that most people aren't seeing yet? These let them think out loud. Give advice. Share what they know. And in that process, without any pressure, they often volunteer exactly what you wanted, but never asked for. I once asked a CEO directly for a job. Watched the door close immediately. Years later, asked the same person how they thought about talent for a specific function. Had an hour-long conversation. At the end, he mentioned they were building a team and asked if I was interested. Same outcome. Different path. Completely different result. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." The Prince, chapter 18. If you appear to need something, they'll never let you close enough to show what you're actually worth. Law 8. Build work so deep they seek you. Here's what changes everything. The moment you stop chasing important people and start building something genuinely valuable is the moment they start chasing you. Not because you're playing hard to get. Because you became someone worth knowing. Someone whose work is deep. Whose output is undeniable. Whose reputation isn't manufactured through personal branding but earned through years of quietly shipping. In The Prince, chapter 22, Machiavelli wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." Which means, if you want powerful people to seek you, become the kind of person that makes them look intelligent for knowing you. I stopped trying to get into certain rooms about 3 years ago. Started building instead. Went deep. Stopped performing. Stopped checking if anyone important was watching. My circle changed completely. Not because I networked better, because I built something inherently interesting to people who cared about the things I cared about. The doors didn't open because I knocked harder. They opened because I became someone they wanted inside. Law 9. Become needed instead of needing. The entire game inverts when you realize this. You don't climb into their world. You build something compelling enough that they want to enter yours. Most people spend their whole lives trying to access powerful people. Networking events. Cold outreach. begging for introductions, all upward motion, all chasing. But here's what actually happens. The person who stops climbing and starts creating becomes their own center of gravity. And powerful people who are constantly being chased notice the rare person who isn't chasing them. Machiavelli wrote, "Upon this, one has to remark that men ought either to be well treated or crushed, because they can avenge themselves of lighter injuries. Of more serious ones they cannot." The Prince, Chapter 3. Modern translation: commit fully to building something undeniable. Or don't play at all. Half measures just make you another forgettable face at another networking event. When I stopped needing certain people and started building something those people needed, everything changed. I didn't get better at asking. I became someone worth seeking. Build work so valuable, skills so rare, insights so sharp that the people you once pursued start asking how they can access you. That inversion, from chaser to essential, is everything. These 9 laws aren't tactics. They're a different way of seeing how power actually moves. Most people will watch this and change nothing. Same cold emails, same mistakes, same closed doors. A few will see what's actually being said. Those few will stop performing. Stop chasing. Stop pretending. They'll build instead. Serve instead. Become someone worth knowing instead of someone trying to be known. 5 years from now, they'll be inside rooms they didn't know existed. Not because they networked better, because they became the kind of person those rooms were built for. If this shifted something, subscribe. I break down how power actually works, not how we're told it works. Next one drops soon.